Guys, I know you feel that weather outside. It is cold. Feels like -5 degrees outside. Seriously does. I have the perfect recipe for you today, guys. We have a chicken soup recipe and you're gonna love it. Let's jump right in. Before you do start this recipe, you need to make sure that you have 2 cooked chicken breasts. You can use as much chicken breast as you want, but for this recipe that I am making today, I'm only gonna use 2. So make sure that your chicken breasts are cooked. So we can get started with cutting up our vegetables. The first thing what we're going to use whole, fresh Bermuda carrots. And if you know, these are very, very, very sweet. So this is gonna give a nice sweetness to our dish. So we're just gonna peel them. And you need to make sure that you have a very nice peeler. Once my carrots are peeled, we're gonna get to chopping. So for these carrots, we're gonna cut them about medium dice. You wanna make sure everything is uniform when you're cutting a soup. You don't wanna have some small pieces and then some big pieces of vegetable. You wanna make everything uniform. So when I cut my carrots, I always cut the top and the bottom first. I like to cut it in half. And then in half again, going lengthways. Like so. Like so. So to get this all in uniform, what I'm going to do, I see that I have 2 big pieces here and 2 smaller pieces here. These pieces I'm going to cut in 3s and these are going to be cut in half. So let me show you. So in half again, and then these bigger pieces we're going to cut in 3s. And then we're just gonna go down and start chopping. The more vegetables you put in the soup, the more heartier it will be. So you can put 2 carrots or you can put 3 carrots, you can put 4, however, how much you would like. Okay, so I have my medium diced carrots already. So we're gonna put that to the side of the chopping board. The next thing what we're going to cut is our celery. So for our celery, I'm gonna use about 5 sticks of celery. Make sure that these are washed. We're going to slice them in half. Just so we can get about the same size as our carrots. And if they are really big stalks, you can chop them in 3. So cut it in 3 slices. So I'm gonna cut all of these together. So we're gonna go down about the same size as our carrots. The last vegetable we will be using would be our onions. So you can use 1 to 2 onions. If you like onions, you can use more. These basic ingredients in a soup are called a mirepoix. So you need to have carrots, onions, and celery into any soup you will be making, okay? That's basic ingredients for any soup. Chop it and then peel it back. And for this, I'm not gonna cut it in half because I wanna have the same size. So I'm just gonna cut it going down and then again. So again, down and then again. We're also gonna add about 3 cloves of garlic as well. So we're going to smash our garlic. Put your knife there. And then just smash it just to get the skin off. And you should have some nice, beautiful garlic. So we have our garlic here. We're just gonna give it a rough mince. Again, put your hand over your knife and just go back and forth, back and forth. This doesn't have to be fine because you have some big pieces of vegetable in your soup. Okay, so that's good enough. So now we're just gonna make a quick roux with our vegetables in our pot. Let's go. We're going to turn our pot on about medium heat. The first thing what you're gonna chop in is some butter. So that's 1 whole stick of butter. And then we're just gonna let that melt before we add in our flour. You can work it with a spoon just to let it melt just a little bit more. Give it a little push. So we're going to add our Filippo Barrio olive oil. You can add the regular one or you can add the extra virgin olive oil one. We're just gonna add about 2 tablespoons. And we're gonna work that in with the butter. So now that our butter is melted, we're gonna add about 1/4 cup of flour, and this is just regular flour. And you wanna work that in until it makes kind of like a paste. When it looks like this, guys, you know that it is ready. So what we're going to do is place our vegetables in our pan now. No specific way, we're just gonna chuck it right in. Oh my God, this smells good. This smells so good. And we barely have anything in here. So we're just gonna let that go for about 2 minutes, and then we're gonna add some water. And then I got to let you guys know. So this has been going for about 2 minutes. The next thing what I'm going to add is Grace's coconut milk, 1 whole can. So that goes directly in. This is 2 cups of water going in. We're going to add a little bit more water into this after this has reduced. Reduced meaning that the water level has gone down and the vegetables have absorbed some of the water. So we're gonna put some more water in later. So we're going to add in some Spice Island bay leaves, as well as a heck load of thyme. You know me, I love thyme. And then we're just gonna let that simmer for about 15 minutes with the top on. So now that our soup is come to a boil, I'm just gonna add a little bit of seasoning. I'm gonna add about 3 tablespoons of garlic powder, and this is optional. You can add pepper flakes if you choose to. I'm gonna add about 1 tablespoon of pepper flakes, only because I love spicy food. And the last seasoning what we're going to add is our Grace's chicken flavored soup mix. This goes perfect with any soup that you're making. Honestly, guys, this is what's gonna top it off. You can use this Grace soup mix for anything. I love using it for my meatloaf as well. I just take out, obviously, the pasta, but the seasoning, perfect. So I'm just gonna open it up. And then we're just gonna pour it in to our soup. And then we're gonna give it a stir. Look how beautiful. Oh my gosh, look how beautiful. We're gonna pop the lid back on for about 5 more minutes, and then we're gonna add up our shredded chicken. So how to shred your chicken, you need 2 things. 2 forks. So to do that, you would need to just put one fork in your chicken and the other fork is gonna be grazing your chicken, okay? So, like so. Need to make sure that your chicken is fully cooked before you shred, okay? So this is a technique you can use for pork. You can use this for beef if you're making like a brisket. If you make like a quesadilla or, you know, something that needs shredded chicken, pulled pork sandwich. This is the technique. So we're just gonna put this chicken into our bowl. The last thing what we're going to do, we're going to add our chicken to our chicken soup. So the chicken that we just shredded up, we're going to add all of that in. Get all of that lovely goodness in our soup. And we're going to mix that up. So we're going to let this simmer for about 10 minutes. You can salt and pepper to your taste, but Grace did the trick, trust me. And our soup is done. It smells so good. I wish you guys could smell it. I mean, you could smell it if you made this soup. Come on now. We're gonna plate it up. I can't wait to eat this. Okay. Oh wait, I'm getting excited. I'm just gonna chop up some parsley just so we can sprinkle on the top just for decor. You see all those nice chicken bits in your soup and that nice uniform cut veg? This looks good. And do not mind the thyme, because I will still eat that. And we're just gonna sprinkle a little bit of parsley.
Beautiful.
And guys, there you go.